Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Mind of Reese. I'm giggling because I just fucking got done doing this episode and I just love it. I love it so fucking much, and I'm hoping you can feel the vibe and the energy through it. But before we get into what it is, I've got 3 special programs I want to invite you into. So in this one, my Tattoo Apprenticeship Program has been extended. I think we talked about this like last week. I'm doing it in 16 months instead of 8 months, and actually charging the same price I was charging for 8 months. So you're basically getting twice the time for the same price, which I had to, because there's so much that I realized I wanted to teach you, and how much time that was going to take. I knew it needed more time than 8 months for right now. And since this is my beta program, I am inviting 3 artists at this price point alone. Okay, if you want to find out more about it, go to the show notes, go in there, see what's up, because this is for the artists, aspiring artists that, believe they're meant to inspire others with their artwork, ready to build a life of their own design with wealth, freedom, and impact, and never work a day in their life because you love what you fucking do. This program is basically teaching you everything I've learned over the past 10 plus years, with $500,000 invested in mentorship, coaching, programs, seminars, classes, fine art school. I'm going to be teaching you and helping you create a business that could make you $100,000 a year within 2 to 3 years. This is what I'm going to teach you. This is what I know. If you to follow through with it, this is what you will make much faster than I did, because it took me 6 to 7 years to really wrap my head around the business of tattooing, the design work of tattooing, the composition, how to tattoo in a really, really beautiful way that you have fucking great heels, and mindset, success and confidence mindset, to put my fucking self out there, to put my artwork out there, to believe in myself, to walk through the river of the unknowns, to really just, holy shit, I believe in myself so much so that I know that no matter what happens, it's meant for me, and I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to win from it, always win from it. But this is what I'm going to be teaching you. And at the end of it, most of the time, if you live in the greater San Diego, California area, I will be hiring the artists after. So January 16th is when the application is I'm no longer taking applications. Get on it now. And if you know someone that wants this, send them this information. Okay, number 2, I have my VIP one-on-ones. Now, my VIP one-on-ones are one of my favorite mentorship containers, because for me, it's about growth in an exponential fucking way. It's about growth in your mental, the confidence, the mindset, the impact. It's about really taking your tattoo empire from where it is to where you want it to go. Whether or not you want to be a mentor, whether or not you want to open up a shop or grow your shop or open up another shop or open up a private tattoo studio, whether it's just in your branding, how you want more accountability in your branding, the strategy, the structure, the energetics. I not only do structure and strategy around your business, we also do a ton of energetic work, a lot of inner healing work, because that's where it all lies. So if you are interested in spending 6 months with me, you, me, and the universe, baby, and you're ready to take your tattoo business to another level, and you would like the accountability and the community and the support, and you're a fucking cheerleader, then this is the one for you. So go ahead and go into the show notes, click into the VIP one-on-one, and I have 3 spots for that. I'm so looking forward to working with you. Lastly, I have a really exciting new program coming out about, I believe, either mid-January or beginning of February, just depending on a few things. But I'm going to be having a program called Booked Out. Now, this is my Masterclass, and I'm not quite sure how many days it's yet, because I think it's going to be like a 3-dayer where we basically teach you everything that I know on how to launch from your soul. And what I mean by launching is for the artists who want to fill their books with soulmate clients. This program is going to be captivating storytelling, messaging, creating urgency, building waitlist early birds and launching, staying relaxed, quantum wealth mindset, and so much more. This is basically my money making class for the tattoo artist. So if this is something you're interested in, get on the waitlist, because the first 2 hours I'm going to let people come in for free, and then the price goes up. And so the reason why I think I did say 24 hours, but now that I've already started to build the program, I'm like, fuck, this is so much juicy information that if I leave it open for 24 hours, 500 of you are going to get in there, and I think that would just be too many. So I am projecting and I'm sending like the best numbers I could ever have, right? But just a lot of people will get in the room, and what I want from this mostly is to really have a more like intimate time with you. So intimate time with people, because I do want to have Q&As. So I am putting a cap on this. So only 2 hours for free, and then after that it goes up for early bird, and then after that it will go up to its latest price. And so early bird 111, latest price 333. So if you want it for free, get on the wait list, because you're not going to want to miss out on signing up for the first 2 hours, making sure you know that you're in on this, because it's going to be the best. Booked out a masterclass on soul launching for the artist who wants to fill their books with soulmate clients. In the show notes, sign up today. Now, I know that was very long, but I just so excited to be sharing all this with you, and so excited to be sharing this energy with you. So in this episode, I'm just coming back from Joshua Tree, and it is January 2nd. It's the first episode of the new year, and I just want to really, let's like cultivate a new state of being. How can we always be in the state of receivership? I am going to tell you how I've done it, what I have been doing, what I have been up to, on how to really create this state of receivership, this gratitude, this energy of like, holy shit, it's electromagnetic and things are coming to me in a wild, wild way. And I wanted to share this with you, because I feel like I would love to inspire you to do some of these practices. So I love you so much. Let me know if you love it, repost it, send it to someone that might need the inspiration, because I'm feeling on fire. And I hope everybody gets to feel this fucking vibe I am in. I am in a vibe, and I'm just gonna stay here for a while. So I love you guys. Have a great fucking day. I hope you love the episode. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Mind of Reese, our first episode in 2023, and I wanted to start this off with a motherfucking bang. I have literally just got out of my car from a 3-hour drive from Joshua Tree, desert town, and it was awesome. Got to spend it with my man, and we got to do all the things that we love doing. We're huge, heavily entrepreneurs and love business, and so we got into the gratitude, what it is that we want in the new year, how we can really cultivate that energy, and so on and so forth. And so I am here to get you guys in that mindset, get you guys in that state of receivership. And the state of receivership is in the vibrational match to gratitude. So it's like being grateful for the thing before it even happens. That is how we get into magic. Now, it is so funny because in the last month or so, I have been heavily obsessed with Dr. Joe Dispenza. And because of the reason being is that for the last 3 years on my meditation journey, I have always believed innately, there was a knowing within me that my meditation was helping me clear the space within me, the beliefs, the shadows, the crunchiness that's in me that, basically makes me do the things that I do on a daily basis. I knew that meditation helped me, was a resource for me to remove all of that gunk so that I could create a clear, basically funnel to source energy, spirit, the universe, my highest self, and create that conduit of creativity, of love, of possibility. And in this knowing, I knew this because I could feel it. And this was a feeling, this was a sense of knowing within me. That's like our intuition. But what I love about Dr. Joe Dispenza is that he takes the mystic and he brings it to a science. So he has put the science behind all the mysticism that we hold around manifestation and things like this, and he tells you how it is actually real through science, through research papers, through evidence, through all of these things, which, of course, since having already known all of these things prior to this, and then now having the evidence behind your thoughts to create your reality, and not vice versa. Your reality doesn't create your personality creates your reality. So whatever you believe within you, as what I love to talk about here on this space, in this space, my spirituality, is that, it has a big to do with what's going on outside of you, right? And what I love about it is that he talks about all of this beautiful things within our cells, epigenetics, and all this other stuff that I won't get into because I'm not an expert in this. But when you find out that it is actually science and no longer mystical, it becomes a more, like, almost in a more intentional thing for my practice. So lately I've been doing 2-a-days. Now, most people would look at 2-a-days as exercise. And I have been doing 2-a-day meditations. So one meditation in the morning for as long as I'd like. Normally it's around like 25 minutes. And then another meditation right before I go to sleep because of the science backing up Dr. Joe Dispenza's thing. And so without getting too into the science, because I don't quite understand it, although I'm obsessing over it and I'm learning so much. Basically in between this, the areas between your, I believe it's your alpha and your theta state when right before you go to sleep, it's like your theta state, and your body is no longer checked in and you're only within your mind because your mind, like, you're not treating your body as your mind, like the mind body. That's where you can get really into the subconscious mind. And so for me, right before I go to sleep is always great to have like a really good gratitude and abundance meditation, because that for me just basically sets myself up for rewiring my brain in a way that tells my subconscious that this is the new way we're going to be thinking. And then I wake up in the next morning, go about my day in a really beautiful way. Now I do 2-a-days because I've cultivated a practice to where I just know what I need when I need it. Whether it be inner child work in that meditation, whether it be, inner child work, shadow work in that meditation, whether I just want to sit in gratitude, whether I want to open up myself to understanding what I want to create that day. I go straight to asking the universe and source spirit all of the things, like, hey, how can I write something? How can I be of service to my community in a huge way that will impact people in a big way? What drawing, what design, what feels really good, and then ask that question and allow it to just flow through me, whether it be through visions, whether it be through actual words and whether it be through a feeling in my body. So these are the things that's what I utilize through meditation. So there's so many resources that I utilize within meditation. Sometimes it's just even just to get quiet. Sometimes I just want the peace. And having that peace is actually healing. It is very healing. Healing, and not only just the healing, like the mental capacity, it's healing to my soul. It's actually healing to your body, which, again, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about and proves. And so, oh my God. So for me, after someone has actually proven the science behind it, because I do have a really thick, and I like to say thick because it's a big part of me, that's very analytical. I believe in a lot of things, and I'm open to the possibilities of so many things, but there is something in it when someone says, oh, this is science, we've done the research, we have the evidence, here you go. We have the proof, we have the social proof, we have people to back it up, we have testimonials, here you go. And it's like, holy shit. Like, this just makes me more intentional about my practices. So for me today, on January 2nd, when you'll be listening to this, I'm not sure. Could be this week, could be next week. I know that we have some other podcasts in the bag that we'll be posting. But for me today, as of January 2nd, what I want to share with you is, and what I would love to challenge you, is to begin your practice to being in the state of receivership, connection to gratitude before the thing happens. And I am actually going to be holding a challenge that I will invite everybody to It's a surprise. It's not yet ready for everybody's ears, but it will be a challenge where I will definitely walk you through 22 days of meditation. And it's going to change your fucking life. Just because meditation has changed my life so much. But honestly, in the last 3 weeks of me doing these 2-a-days and really, really connecting with the understanding that this is science-based and it is real, and it's real life happening, and things are happening and things are moving within my body that are changing on a cellular level. It just makes you want to, and I'm hoping that this inspires you to be like, oh, okay, this isn't just I believe, I just have to believe it will work out and it'll work out. It's not like that. It's like, no, we've connected it to the fact that it changes and rewires your brain to start thinking in different ways, to opening yourself up to the possibilities of seeing new opportunities so that you can go after those new opportunities and live life in a totally different way than you've been living it every single day before. And the only way that we can have true change within ourselves is having a death and a rebirth. And so when we think about a death and a rebirth, it's like, it could be an ego death. You're not leading with your ego. You're not leading with your body. You're not leading with your habits. You're not leading with your patterns. You have decided to make a change and actually have the death of that old thing and have a new path. So you can only have change when a path ends and a new fork in the path or a new chapter begins. And the only way true change can happen is through a death and a rebirth. And what this means to me means that even on like a cellular level, when we stop doing or thinking in the same patterns that we do every single day as a routine habit way of reacting, thinking, believing, and then creating from that every single day space, of course, we're not going to get the thing that we want outside of us, right? We're looking for, I want change in my life, but yet I am not willing to change the thoughts I have when I wake up in the morning, the addiction I have to the emotions that I currently am on, whether it be stress, anxiety, guilt, shame, unworthiness, am I too much? Am I not enough? Like all of these beliefs that you have within you that are actually wired into your subconscious mind in a certain way and fires and wires for every single day in that pattern because you are so used to it. When you decide to change, when you decide to do something different, just like adding a meditation practice, just with the intention of adding a meditation practice into your day, or adding exercise or something different within your life for 5 minutes, you actually start growing new genes within your body. And this is the crazy part. It's like you're growing new genes, and in order to have new emotions, you actually grow new proteins within your body, and then your brain starts firing and wiring in different ways, which means that you are actually changing on a cellular level. And so when they say like thoughts are the electricity, and your intention is the magnet, then you have an electromagnetic pulse to basically, send the broadcast out there of what your thought is and bring more of it to you. So if my thought is, oh, I don't want to be broke, all the thought is broke. So we get onto that electromagnetic currency, and the magnet becomes the intention of not being broke. You actually perpetuate more brokenness, perpetuate more no money in your life, basically. So when we actually create the thought around, like, let's say abundance, we get the feeling within us. So we have the thought, we have the feeling. So the thought, feeling, intention. So the intention here is like, okay, my intention is to sit here and change, right? So I want a different thought. Instead of thinking, I am not worthy, I am not this, I have stress, I always have anxiety, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overworked, I'm fucking tired, I never have any time. All of these things, all of these thoughts, they create an emotion, and the emotion is the magnet, right? So the emotion's the magnet. I'm sorry, not the intention. The emotion is the magnet. And so when you have this thought that perpetuates an emotion, and then you're only bringing more of that to you, right? So that's why when we say, everybody has their own perspective, there's infinite perspectives, whatever color glasses you're wearing is the color glasses you see through the world with, right? And so if my thought process, which this has been an intention for me to have this practice every single night. Now, I'm not saying it has to be every single night, but to be honest, like, I'm a full sender, and I have a lot of discipline and a lot of accountability. And where my discipline comes in, it's actually based on devotion. And since I know that meditation doesn't take me that long, it doesn't ruin any part of my day, it doesn't do anything to hurt anybody else, it doesn't you know, it doesn't take away from my energy. I look at it as like, why not just do it every day? You know, exercise on the other hand, now if I was like, I'm going to exercise every single day, without caring about what my body is saying, whether it's hurt, whether it's sore, whether it needs a stretch or something like this, and then I perpetuate more hurting myself, that's not what I'm saying. That's a discipline on another level. And when I'm talking about devotion and discipline, it's totally two different things. Devotion is the emotional intelligence and level of understanding to listen to intuition and know that, like, yes, I have this devotion, I'm devoted to my body to work out. However, if I'm hurting, I listen. But if I have the thought like, oh, I don't feel like it today, I surpass that thought and know that the feeling I'm going to receive after I'm done with the thing is actually the feeling that I want. It's the feeling I want to have. So when I look at meditation and I decide it's my intention to be devoted to my practice 2-a-days, I was doing 1 a day. Now I'm doing 2-a-days. And I was just like, well, why not? Why not? What could it hurt if I just decide that I'm going to do this every single day? Not change anything else, just offer this to myself every single day, 2-a-days. And I did. And it's so funny because I already know that I am so wealthy inside and out. I have a very beautiful thought process, belief process around me. I've worked really hard for it. But I was like, why not a step above? Why not just go to sleep with the feelings of freedom and abundance? So I have not necessarily, like, for me, I've got everything I fucking need. But I, of course, desire more. I desire more because that is just innate within me. I know that within me that I am, you know, I really thrive on growth, and growth in all aspects, whether it be my business, whether it be my for myself, my self-growth, my self-love, whether it be, you know, within like my musculature, my muscles, my body, and things like this, whether it just be, you know, in so many things, just in all facets of life, I'm huge on growth. So financial growth, business growth, you know, health, body, fitness, self, it's all these are all growth to me. I love growth. And so I was just like, why not just give this a shot? And so I listened to what Joe Dispenza says, where thoughts are the electricity and the emotion is the magnet. And so I created thoughts around what if my future would look like. I was like, okay, let me just build this vision. Done this so many times. Built a vision, exceeded the vision, still searching, still doing the thing. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this with the intention of I wanted to seek abundance. But what I really realized, then I think about like, oh, when I want more money, when I think about more money, I think about what money actually offers me. And money actually offers me freedom. So what the feeling I actually want is freedom. And I already know that where the reasons why I want all of this. I have the intention. I know that I'm worthy of it, because at the end of the day, all this money goes right back out into the world. All the money that I make, like, yes, I made, you know, almost $600,000 last year, but actually what's in my bank account is not even close, because I put it all back into the business. I put it all back into my family. I put it all back into the things I wanted to do, put it all back into everything else. So it's like, I have a sense and a taste for how money is just a tool, and it goes round and round, but offers me the life I want, which is freedom. Freedom to do whatever the fuck I want to do, when I want to do it, with whom I want to do it with. And I was like, okay, So if this is what I want, this is what I did all last year. There was a few things where I felt like, oh, I was pushing real hard, and I'm still working on a lot. Like, I love having things to work on because it means that I never have a ceiling. So for me, it just gives me so much fucking joy to be like, oh, I got this to work on. All right, let's do it. Like, let's go. So I am in, and you could tell just in my energy, like, I can't wait to tell you this, what I'm about to say. Okay, so I'm in this meditation, and so I'm here having the thoughts of what freedom looks like to me. I'm a more visual person, and I'm sure as you artists out there are pretty visual yourself, so visualize it. What does it look like? If you had all the wealth in the world, you had all the time in the world, what would you do with it? What does it look like? What's the end game? So I started picturing, and things just started showing up. Like, I didn't even know. I was like, oh, I'm going to have a stage of people, and they're stoked to be learning from me. And I'm teaching, mindset, meditation, spirituality, business, marketing, like all the things I always want to teach. And, building classrooms and schools and seminar spaces for artists to really show up and shine, because I know that there are artists out there just like me who want to educate and share their knowledge and share what they want to offer with this world. And I'm building a shop for a safe space, and I don't want to look at the shop as a part, because for me, I don't want to look at the shop for money. I want to look at it as a space where I can have people come in and only pay rent and they just feel good. And I'm like, yes, this is what I want to do, because I am here, like, I want to build a safe space for my friends, my artists, people that want to be in my space, that want to also teach, and just not make them the source of my income, but make it a source of, like, this is a space for creativity. I can't wait to have babies, which is random. Holy shit. Like, with my man. It's like, this is in my mind, and this is what makes me happy. I want to buy myself a new car so I could give my old car to my mom, because she's always wanted a Jeep, and I just want to give it to her. Like, these are all the things I imagine. I see $1 million in my bank account, like, what? And so this is all the things I imagine. And this is all, like, I'm like, holy shit, this makes me feel so fucking free. Like, I feel free to do whatever the fuck I want. I teach what I want. I tattoo what I want. I tattoo when I want. I have apprentices that really are so stoked to be in this industry, and they're going full send by investing in themselves, investing in the time, the energy, the resources, in me, and me promise and delivering what I promise is like a 100K plus a year business. This is all the freedom. This is all the things that give me this, like, excitement. And just by thinking about it makes me fucking stoked. And I hope you could feel that energy and just swallow it and keep it in your belly for a while. So I'm thinking about all these things in this meditation. That's all I'm doing. I'm in my body. I'm in my space. I'm in the quantum. And so the way we get into the quantum, which I will teach you when I tell you the surprise meditation thing. But once we get into the quantum realm, in the quantum, it's infinite. It is infinite. There are infinite fucking possibilities. It does not matter. Like, once you realize you're in this state of, like, gratitude, like I am right now. That's right? And I'm in the quantum, seeing all of these things. That's where I'm seeing them, in the quantum realm. Okay? And so I start giving off this feeling of freedom and abundance. And this is what's exuding off of me. You can taste it right now as you listen to this. Like, you can feel it. And so I'm starting to literally, like, it like comes off of me like a fog, like a fog. And it's literally in all directions of every part of me, all around me, 360, this energy is coming off of me. And it's beginning to open the doors and opportunities of where it can bring me back all of this energy, right? It's bringing me back all of this energy. It's bringing in different ways. It's going to offer me the opportunities on how I'm going to be able to buy myself a new car so I could give my mom my old car. It's going to offer me all the opportunities for me to open up this brand new shop, and exactly what I need, what I want, when and it's in that. So I truly believe that creativity is like imagining in the quantum realm and it actually happening in the 3D realm. There's a lot of source of openness and surrender. So you have to be open to the possibilities. So you're creating this energy of, yes, fuck yeah, this is the possibilities in the quantum. They can look like all of this stuff, but here's the way that I see it. And holy shit. And all I'm doing is trying to create a feeling, because the feeling is what I really want. Whenever we're after something, we're only looking for a feeling. We want to, start charging in a certain way. We want to tattoo only what we want to tattoo. We want to open up a shop. We want to close a shop. We want to open up our own private studio. We want to start teaching. We want to start traveling. We want to start doing conventions. We want to be booked out at conventions. Like, all of these things that we want always ends with feeling a certain way. When you get the thing you want, you feel a certain way, right? Well, how about we feel a certain way and act as though we've already gotten what we wanted every single night for 5 minutes? Just, I'm already acting as though. And so as I'm doing that, my entire brain has shifted into searching for, not even searching, just open to the opportunities for seeing the doors opening. And then it's my duty to take the action. It's my duty to actually move and take the action toward the thing when it offers and opens itself up to me. And that's where true change happens. It doesn't just happen if I'm going to sit in meditation and do this every night. Yes, it's going to totally change my attitude in the world, which is fucking great, which is the first step. But the first also, it's like following through. Because if you're not actually taking the action, you don't actually believe it's for you. See, that's the thing. What you're doing is you're trying to change the belief. But if you're doing the abundance meditation and life is trying to bring you abundance, and yet you're like, oh shit, I'm too scared to do the thing. Well, then you don't actually believe that it's for you, or that you actually can have the thing. And so you're not actually changing. Change only happens when you decide to do something different. So we look at this, true leadership and true change happens in the yeses and the nos, okay? And in the yes to yes, I'm gonna do this. And the no, no. You know what? I feel so fucking good. No, I don't need to get drunk tonight. I don't need to. Because I already feel so fucking good that I don't need to escape from any feelings that I feel at the end of the night when I'm like, oh, I just need to wind down. I just need a cocktail. I just need to smoke some weed. I just need this and this and that. Nothing wrong with any of it. Nothing wrong with any of that. You do you, boo-boo, okay? I'm just saying, like, me too, okay? Don't get me wrong. I like to have a hit of weed every once in a while. I like to have a drink every once in a while. But ask yourself as to the reasons why you're doing it for, And when we get down to the nitty-gritty, we are trying to alter our state of being, right? We are trying to alter our state of being. But let's say this 5-minute meditation alters your state of being, that you no longer have to search outside of you to change that. You realize it's an inside job. And you're like, fuck, I can feel freedom and abundance all the time. Even if, yeah, I don't really like my job, but how can I? Oh, fuck, I gotta do 2 jobs in order to sustain my passion. Shit, I don't wanna. Or, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? So change only happens when you decide to do something different. And even if your day looks the same right now, the way that you look at your day changes. So even if you are in step routine, you will look at life differently. You will go to that same coffee shop and actually notice something you never noticed before. You may act a different way in front of that barista that one time. And so for me, it's like, okay, I could have this routine. I could change my entire state of being and choose to be a different way. And by choosing to be a different way, does that mean that I make different decisions within my artwork, within my life, within saying yes when I really wanted to saying yes when I really wanted to say yes instead of saying no, right? Maybe that one time you're like, fuck, I should have said yes. But my habitual patterning and belief tells me that I should have said no. Because I am introverted, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't know how I'm going to get the money. It's one of those things where when opportunities start showing up into your life, you start taking the leaps of faith and follow through on the things you asked for. Because when you decide that you're not going to take the leap of faith, you cannot expect for an opportunity like that to happen again. Because what happens when you don't do it several times, I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm not saying that like, oh, you don't do it once, universe ain't gonna give you another try. Like, it ain't like that. It's more like the less you say no when you really want to say yes. I mean, the more you say no when instead of really you really want to say yes, the more the old patterns come through, because the belief system within you is what's actually controlling you over the new beliefs that you really want to have. But in order to have the new feeling, the new state of being, you need to practice. It's like anything, right? We need to practice this. And in that practice, for me personally, in order to change the state of my being, I have to change the way that I habitually feel on a day-to-day basis. Meaning that, like, yes, on days, Reese wakes up with anxiety. It happens. I don't know why. Sometimes I'm just like, I think it's because my body's so addicted to waking up in anxiety and stress, because that spurns me forward to get the shit and job done. But now I'm realizing that the more that I could actually surrender into the abundant freedom feeling, I actually take better and more strategic steps toward the thing that I really want, or toward the thing that I really want to feel when I'm already feeling the thing. And then it just becomes like, holy shit, this just happened out of nowhere and I don't know how it happened. And so there is this, I know I've been talking and I feel like sometimes I'm hoping I'm making some sense. I'm hoping that just my energy will allow you to understand the feeling that I'm feeling, and that I'm hoping that with that understanding, it will inspire you to create some different habit for yourself so that you can live in the state of being that you wish to live in, which means living in the feeling that you want, which most of us, and I won't say all of us, because maybe not everybody wants freedom. Maybe not everybody wants abundance. Maybe, I doubt that. I doubt that highly, but I won't say everyone just in case. But for most of us, we do desire some sort of freedom. And we think that we can get that freedom outside of ourselves, but when we can really just make it as simple as possible by knowing that it is an inside job. And when we can actually say through science that it actually works, you could change your body physiology, your brain, the way your brain grows, the genes you create within your body, the proteins you create within your body. You will be no longer living off the old proteins and genes that naturally fire within your body that cause anxiety and the addictive emotions that we have, which for me, I cannot tell you why I should still have anxiety. I don't. And then I could create a story all I want around, well, I had coffee yesterday. I don't normally drink coffee. That could be it. Or I just feel like I'm not doing enough. And these emotions that I'm having are addicting. I'm addicted to the emotion of anxiety and stress. Because if I don't have those feelings, what other feeling am I going to have? I don't know. Like, that's the scary part. My body and my ego is like, well, we don't know how to act in any other way. So we're going to go back to what we know, which is guilt, anxiety, overwhelm, not enoughness, unworthiness. We're used to those. Those ones we know. We live by, we have the genes and the proteins that are in the body. We don't need to create anything else. Like, we're good. The ego is trying to protect my body from changing because it doesn't understand the unknown. That's all the ego's doing. I love you, ego. Goodbye. See you later. Because instead of, let me replace that feeling of anxiety of waking up every morning into fucking abundance, into fucking freedom. Still doing the same thing I'm doing. I still tattoo 3 times a week. It's not like I quit tattooing. I love tattooing. I love educating. I love working. I love my job. I love making money. I love, being able to support my family, being able to support myself, live on the beach, have an extravagant travel life, teach people, support people, change people's lives, impact people in a huge way. Like, that's my legacy. That's what I'm going to do. I love that shit. I'm not changing that. Freedom to me doesn't mean I don't do anything and I get to watch TV all day. That's not what freedom feels like to me. That's not freedom to me. That sounds awful. Freedom to me is just getting to do whatever the fuck I want to do, whenever I want to do it, with whoever I want to do it at any given time I want to do it in. And I have already mapped out how I like my schedule to be. This entire year, I decided I'm not working weekends. Holy shit. I don't even know the last time I didn't work a weekend. Like, I've been in this business for 10 and a half years. I always worked weekends because my thought process believed that people are off on the weekends. I gotta work weekends. And so then when I started taking Sundays off, that was a little off and weird. But now I'm like, no, I'm taking Saturdays off. And I'm taking the Sundays off. And the reason being wasn't just the freedom of having my weekends off, but it was the freedom of not having to be mindful of what time my dog comes home, because unfortunately on Saturdays and Sundays, doggy daycare only lasts till like 2 p.m. So now I have the freedom to work as long as I want on any day I want with my clients. That's what freedom means to me, okay? There's a lot of freedom in that for me. And now I'm like, wow, I don't have to worry about my dog. With less worry, perpetuation of this feeling gets me to feel a different thing, which is what do I want to feel, instead of worry, stress that I'm not getting my tattoo done fast enough, or I won't get it done, or whatever. What do I want to feel instead? I want to feel free. And what did I do? I offered myself the opportunity to do that. And what did I say? I believe that people will come and take the time off from work in order for them to meet me where I need them to meet me for my schedule. I believe that. And if that doesn't happen right now, I'm going to continue to believe it, because I already feel the freedom within me. And here's the opportunity that the world is, that the universe is offering to me, that I no longer have to actually have that belief that, oh, people only want to get tattooed on the weekends because they're off. No. People want to there are a bunch of people that want to get tattooed at all different times of the week, day, year. It's all dependent upon their belief. Now, my belief says, here is the reason why I want to feel more freedom. I want this. I'm perpetuating more freedom. Here's the opportunity. I believe that it's meant for me. And no matter what happens, surrendering the outcome, whether or not I get less people to book with me because they can't have a Saturday or a Sunday, then that's what it's going to be for a while, until it's not. Because I believe that it's going to be fine. And it's fine. It's actually better than fine. Nobody even said a thing. Nobody questioned. Nobody asked for another day. They were like, yep. Yeah. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy. And that's all. That's all I did. What? Who am I? I'm nobody. The only thing I think I got is like some discipline. I got some discipline to hold myself. I'm like, just give me 3 weeks and I'll do this thing. And then let's see what happens, And it's like, these are the abundant feelings that we have. So why not just, instead of having the normal feelings that we always have, that we actually don't always like, and we create stories around that perpetuate more of that feeling, and then also makes us believe that those stories are true. I told myself the story that people don't get tattooed on Tuesdays, that people only want to get tattooed on Saturdays. Like, I made that up. Now, based off of experience of seeing other people and, when I first started and this and this and that. But at the end of the day, it's still a story I told myself. That's not necessarily true. It could be true for you because that's what you believe. I decided to believe something different. And then the opportunity happened for me to make a change, and I changed it. I took true change without knowing the outcome, because I was like, this is the change. This is what I'm sticking to. And I have a really solid reason why I want more freedom. Super solid. And I believe that it's meant for me. I believe that it's meant for you. And so why not? Just give it a shot. So this is from me to you on the 2nd of January, to get your ass into so much beautiful gear, to get yourself in the state of receivership by being grateful before the thing happens, by already having the feeling of what it would feel like to revel in all your wealth. Like, let's not talk about what if it doesn't work. Let's talk about what if it does. And honestly, what have you got to fucking lose? Time? What? Time away from feeling anxiety, stress, overwhelm, overthinking, unworthiness? You know what? I would take 25 to 35 minutes out of my day, 25 for the morning, 10 minutes for nighttime, wanting to feel a new feeling. And if that feeling decides that I am going to be creating new genes, which creates new proteins to automatically create the hardware in my body to have that feeling, and then if I habitually and stay committed, because when you follow through on your commitments to yourself, you create the confidence that things are working. When you commit, when you follow through, and you start to do the thing, your hardware becomes your software. And when that happens, you are now no longer thinking in the old paradigm way. You are now new thinking in the new way. You wake up without anxiety. And actually, it was so wonderful because today I had this exact thing happen to me. I woke up in Joshua Tree with anxiety. I didn't get really good sleep. My dog's moving around. It's waking up my boyfriend. My boyfriend's like moving around, and didn't get the greatest of sleep. Woke up being like, oh, it's my last day. Oh, I want to stay one more day in Joshua Tree and go hiking and enjoy just another day off. And then I was like, whoa. I caught myself in the habit pattern of like feeling this anxiety of like, wow, I just don't want to go back to work. I got so much to do and I don't feel like doing it, but I got so much to do. And it's like this, I got so much to do. And that automatically sends my ego into a fight or flight, which sends off cortisol in my body, which creates the stress and the anxiety that happens. And then now here I am with stress and anxiety because of a thought that I woke up to. I'm like, how did I have all these thoughts right when I wake up? And so what I ended up doing, right into meditation. I was like, nope, I'm not starting my day off with this. I'm going to go into meditation. I'm going to feel through. I'm going to process these feelings, and I'm going to change it. I went into a 25-minute meditation on switching, on processing through that feeling through that. My meditations are so fucking amazing these days, you guys. Like, I use meditation for so many of the resources, like I told you at the beginning of this podcast. Inner child work, shadow work, abundant, like change in feeling, change in belief, change in like all this stuff. So all of these things that I do in meditation, I just have. I have as it's in my tool belt, where whenever I step into meditation, my tool belt, my magical tool belt and intuition will tell me what I need exactly to do within that meditation to create a different outcome and a different feeling throughout my day. How do I want to feel throughout my day? Do I want to stay stuck in this anxious feeling that I started off with this morning? Or do I want to step into a different way of being? So right when I feel activated feelings, I'm always like, ooh, let's move through this, baby. I love processing feelings. I love feeling through my feelings. My feelings feel so good. I'm like, damn, I learned a new thing about me. This is awesome. How can I alchemize this and turn this into power? What did I end up doing? I alchemized it and turned it into power. And so it ends up, the feeling of anxiety moves out of me because I'm realizing that the stories I'm telling myself are not true. And then I start to first I did some inner child work, then I did some opening, then I did some abundance work and started visualizing how my future would look and what kind of feelings I really want to perpetuate. And then all of a sudden, what happened when I got out of there, I expressed myself. So expression of emotion can mean a bunch of things. It can mean burping, it can mean farting, it can mean crying, it could be sweating, it could be salivating. Like, this is your body purging emotions that you're allowing yourself to process through. When you move through the day with anxiety, you're like, if I had stayed with that anxiety, I would have been trying to tamp it down or trying to get rid of it by doing something outside of me. What else do I need to do? What else do I need to do? Who do I need to call? Do I need to change this? How do I get more people in this? How do I do this? Da, 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 da. And always thinking of the hows, staying in that stressed mode, trying to figure out what to do outside of me in order to basically get rid of this emotion. And instead what I did was I ended up processing it, expressing it through tears. I was crying this morning. Changed my state of being from anxious to now feeling freedom and abundance. And then what happened? A flood of creativity flies through me. A flood of it. I was not asking and I was not expecting. And all of a sudden, I had all of these new fucking ideas to do. And I am in a launch right now. I am in a launch for a tattoo apprenticeship, with my tattoo apprenticeship, as you guys know if you've been listening. Like, I am so excited about this apprenticeship program. It is something that I'm so excited to be offering. I'm so excited to change people's lives. And I am on the way of like, how do I get people to take their own leaps of faith? Like, how can I help them understand, like, it's changing your life means starting today. It doesn't mean tomorrow or the next day. How do I talk to people in their emotional way and inspire them to lead them to my VIP one-on-one programs, to lead them to my apprenticeship programs, to lead them to any of my classes, because I know within my heart and soul that it could potentially have the capacity to change your life in one way or another in that moment, or 10 weeks from then, 1 year from then, you remember something I said and you're like, holy fuck, I get it. If that could change someone's life, then that's why I'm doing it. How do I appeal to them in this way? How can I show them that this thing I'm inviting them into could actually change their entire life? That's all of the sudden, all of this information. That's how I feel about my business, the way I just spoke about it, the way I offer my programs, the people I want to invite in. I want them to lead themselves to me, because when they do, then they are 100% committed, and they are 100% already know that whatever they've invested, it's already been given back to them tenfold. That's the people I want to lead to me, but I also want to show them what it is possible. So how do I do that? All of a sudden, the creative ideas start floating in my mind on how I can speak to the tattoo artists that really, if they're wanting to grow and they want, this is storytelling. This is all these stories started to come through in my body of like, oh yes, I remember when I felt like this and how this could potentially have helped me and what I've learned and what I've gained, what the transformation was. So I am all of a sudden coming up with all these marketing ideas on how to invite people into a program out of nowhere. When I came in this morning feeling and dreading, like, oh my God, I don't have the ideas. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm doing. All of this stuff. I feel like I have so much to do. This anxious feeling, alchemizing that feeling, getting into the state of gratitude for my freedom, and that state of gratitude is a state of receivership. And then now all of a sudden, what am I getting? I'm receiving creative things within my brain that allow me to create and impact in a huge way. And at the end of the day, if nobody signs up, then that's the way it's meant to be. Like, I just know at the end of the day that I committed and I followed through and I stuck with it. And that I committed to myself. I don't want to lead my life through the lens of my emotional first responders, as my mentor would say. I don't want to lead my life through the anxiety. That's my first responder. That's my emotional first responder. It's the first one online, because it's the habit. It's the addicted emotion I have. I wanted to live in a different one. And what did I end up doing? I ended up doing what I wanted to do within an hour. So stoked. Got to have brekkie with my man. Got to go play with my dog. Still got all the creativity and vibes done. Have all the changes made. And I wasn't even expecting to do this podcast, but because I fucking felt like I just had a major breakthrough today after 3 weeks of understanding how meditation can actually change you as your body, your cellular body, your physiologically, your brain matter. And what's funny, you guys, is that the reason why this is so important is that your atoms are 0.00, I think there's like 6 zeros in there, 0.001 matter, like actual physical, tangible matter, and the rest is energy. Are you shitting me? We as humans are mostly energy. So how, on a scientific level, this is science. I'm not talking just like, oh, we're energy and we're butterflies and unicorns and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all about that shit too. Well, let me just speak to the scientist in you, the person that needs tangible evidence to believe in the thing. I'm giving it to you. And this is why it gets me so excited, because everything I've ever believed in the last 3 years is actually becoming science. Mysticism is just science unproven. Spirituality, science unproven. You know? And as we begin to prove the thing, we start to actually believe it more, and we start to create the intention around how much this could actually help you in a huge 3-dimensional way. But by getting out of the 3-dimension and into the quantum and seeing it and feeling it in your 3-dimension, so that you can electromagnetically call it to you. Because what we are mostly energy over matter. So why fucking not? So that is my inspirational podcast to you guys. If you loved it, if you felt the chilly willies, if you got the hair on the back of your neck standing, if you were like, fuck, Reese, I was gangster, or shit, I need to share this with someone so that they can feel this too, and that they can just change one little part of your life. One little part. Okay? One little part of your life, of your day, of 24 hours of your day. You take 35 minutes of that time and devote it to this, to switching your state of being, to deciding that whatever you're feeling today that does not serve you is no longer the way you want to feel, and just feeling the thing you want to feel, like abundance, freedom, happiness. Like, you want to feel those things, feel them at least for 35 minutes. And after a month of that, start trying to go about your day with that feeling for longer, while you're awake, while you are in the 3-dimensional world. That's where true change happens, because the opportunities actually show up. Okay, so this is what I want to inspire you with. I hope that this inspires you, and please share it. I love it when you guys share it and tell me that this one like really hit home for you, because it means the world to me, and it helps me just continue on to do this. It can help continue on to do all the learning for you and bring it here in a way that maybe helps, you understand it better in a way that, like, it's because I understand it this way. Like, I think it's just like this, we just resonate and understand things in different ways. And I would be happy to learn it all and literally break it down in a way that sounds I could understand it and offer it all to you guys here on this podcast. It's one of my favorite type forms of content to create. And so I love you guys. I am fucking rooting for you. Oh, and I will see you in the fucking quantum. I love you so much. Have a beautiful fucking day.